What's up, broke parents? I'm just kidding, kind of. Welcome to my channel. I'm a first-time mom. My baby is now 8 months, and I wish I would have known a couple of ways to save money from the beginning. Luckily for you, I already went through all this, so you don't have to. So stick around, and we're going to go through some ways you could save money as a first-time parent too. My first tip is to master the art of shopping smart, and by that I mean consignment sales, Facebook Marketplace. I did not have Facebook when I first got pregnant, and I got back on Facebook, and there's literally so many goods on there. There's a lot of people just getting rid of entire wardrobes, and some of it could be really, really cute for practically nothing. There's an awesome store called Once Upon a Child that buys back your old baby clothes so you can kind of like upsize everything as they grow. So definitely look for those Once Upon a Child stores near you, or maybe your area has something similar. Another tip is to look for businesses going out of business. So when I was pregnant, fortunately enough, Bye Bye Baby was going out of business, so I was able to get my stroller really cheap. My second tip is to be smart with the purchases that you do make, as in try to get as many multi-function, multi-purpose things as possible. I bought a stroller that converts from a stroller to a car seat. That was great. I also bought a crib that converted from newborn all the way up to basically being a kid. By the way, the crib that I bought ended up being a total nightmare to deal with because there was just all sorts of issues with Walmart. If you're interested in that video, I'll link it down below. Yeah, it was just nonsense. It was madness. What I do use though is a pack and play that also configures from newborn all the way to where my baby is right now. I think it goes up to 33 pounds it could go. And that pack and play also doubles as a changing station for a newborn. Pretty awesome stuff. My high chair is also something that adjusts from a newborn sling chair type of thing to all the way of a regular high chair. I'll link all these things down below if you're curious and interested. And I should also mention that I am totally not sponsored, as you could probably tell by my very, very few subscribers and my very few views. So if you're interested, if you like this stuff, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, all that stuff, since I'm obviously a baby channel. And on that same train of thought of what can I use for the longest amount of time as possible, do not bother buying 4-ounce bottles. Don't do it. If you're going to bottle feed, just go straight to the 8 ounces because they're going to use it the longest. It'll be there before you know it. Just trust me, just don't even bother with the little baby bottles. Just go for the big ones. Which brings me to my next section of tips, which is food and nutrition. Obviously, breastfeeding is going to be a lot more friendly on your pocket than bottle feeding, but some people can't do it, and that's just fine. You know, if you can breastfeed, try to do it as long as possible. I only really lasted 6 months because I love sleep and I hate the pump, so I ended up switching to formula around 6 months. Another hack that I learned painfully so is don't bother feeding your baby those fancy pouches from the grocery store. They really add up after a while and they look so good. They have like all these things in it. You're like, oh wow, look, she's eating like sweet potato and bison and kale and like she's eating better than me. But really, the table scraps is just fine for the baby. A lot of my friends told me, hey, don't worry about them getting nutrients from the food. It's more just practice. My pediatrician told me the same thing. What they're doing is practicing eating. They're practicing their hand-eye coordination. They're practicing how to use their mouth and how to swallow. So don't obsess over trying to get them like the best, healthiest diet ever. Just whatever you're eating, if it's soft, if it's sugar-free, if it's easy for them to swallow, give them that. And speaking of food, a really great hack that I learned from, I can't even remember where, is green onions for teething. Now, green onions are also cost effective because they're super cheap at the grocery store, but what's amazing about them is that they're super easy to keep growing once you buy them once from the grocery store. So you literally buy like an entire pack of green onions from the grocery store for like $1 or something like this, and you just plant it, you know, put it in a potter and stick it outside somewhere, and it'll just keep growing forever and ever and ever, and the babies like to chew on it. Obviously make sure that they're not going to choke on it, kind of watch them when they're eating. It's a smart thing to do. And speaking of free resources, or practically free, because I guess you have the initial cost of like $1 and some dirt for the green onions, but another really great hack and free resource is to check out Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. Hopefully she services your area, but Dolly Parton has this Imagination Library program which basically sends your child a free book every month from the time they're born until the time they hit kindergarten, I believe. Luckily, my area is one of those areas that gets service. Sign up as soon as possible for that because it's a great way to get free books. Also, my local Once Upon a Child has $1 Book Wednesdays, which is amazing. Now let's talk about toys. Don't go crazy buying toys. Actually, hardly buy any toys if possible. I try to give my child minimal toys. The reason is that kids like just household items. Literally before I put my daughter to bed today, she played with the case of my cell phone, just like the plastic case of my cell phone for like 40 minutes. I'm not kidding. Of course, she actually has real baby toys as well, but she gets bored of them pretty easily. Don't go crazy. I will say if you're going to buy toys, Five Below has great options. And my last tip is something that I definitely wish I would have known such a long time ago, and that's that you don't have to change every single diaper ever. You could get away with, cutting back on changing the pee-pee diapers, and definitely you have to change the poopy diapers, but you do not have to change every single pee-pee diaper. You do absolutely have to change every poopy diaper. So, if there's something happening and the baby obviously did a pee-pee, you could wait a little bit. Now, I'm not saying that you should do that to necessarily save money, but let's say overnight, if your baby peed, you're not going to change every single pee-pee diaper that baby does. And that is going to lead to saved money. Diapers might be the thing that you spend the most on besides maybe medical bills. And there you have it. Those are my practical life hacks for having a kid and saving some money. If you have any other recommendations, talk about them below. I'll also link all the multi-use, multi-purpose things that I've found really awesome over this last 8 months of my journey. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe for more tips and tricks.